don't sell these tanks, okay? Now, I know Meadsy's been making videos about don't sell these tanks, blah, 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 but his ones are more about, like, don't sell them because they're fun and whatnot, and they're actually good tanks. For me, we're going to be specifically talking about Reforged here. Don't sell these tanks because in Reforged, you'll have to buy them back in order to unlock the sets. By the way, you have to pay keys in order to unlock these tanks for the sets. So, yeah. Remember when I made these videos about buying certain tanks at certain tiers to make sure that you have those sets unlocked? Not every set has a tier 10 tank. So you need to be careful about that. And if it does have a tier 10 tank, I would suggest keeping all the tier 10s that you've bought. I know there's some people that actually sell these tier 10s that they have, you know, because they need credits and whatnot. Don't do that. Don't do that. We're going to go through these sets. I'm going to show you tanks that you shouldn't sell because, well, you know, you shouldn't sell them. Let's face it, you should not sell them. End of story, right? Now, if we go to the tech tree section, come on. If we go to the tech tree section, there's probably a better option there. Right, so, as you can see, the first one, the first set right here, which is the Seek, Strike, and Destroy. In order to have the entire set unlocked, you're going to have to either have the Hellcat or the Super Hellcat. One of the two. But obviously, if you want to unlock the set from the get-go, you're going to have the Hellcat. So, if you've got the Hellcat in your garage, keep it, do not sell it, because you will have this entire set unlocked, right? So, just keep that in mind. So, that's the first one, the Hellcat. The second one, for this one right here, this set right here, you're going to need the T110 E4. If you've got the T110 E4, your entire set is going to be unlocked. If you've got the T30, your entire set should be unlocked, apart from the T110 E4, obviously. So if you've got either one of these tanks, most likely your set should hopefully be unlocked. And you can't just research it and then obviously, what do you call it? And then that's it. No, you need to have the tank in your garage in order for you to have the set unlocked, and you don't have to pay keys for it. Because remember, keys are not going anywhere. As much as we despise keys, and I fucking hate keys, they are not going anywhere. So in order to refrain from having this particular set, Built to Destroy, locked, please either have the T30 or T110 E4 in your garage, because at least if you've got these higher tier ones, you should have the set unlocked, because you need to have at least one of these tanks bought and researched in your garage in order to unlock the set so you can continue on. But it means you will have to purchase the other tanks if you didn't research it. So that's number two. Then you got this set right here. The T110 E3, the T95, you got these tanks in your garage. You should be good for this set, the Juggernauts. So T110 E3, definitely T95. Again, if you don't have the T110 E3, but you have the T95 or the T28, at least you have one of these tanks researched and bought in your garage, and that means your set shall be unlocked. You need to have at least one of these tanks bought and researched in your garage for the set to be unlocked. If you don't, if you've only got them researched, it won't be unlocked. It won't be unlocked. The set will actually be locked. Right, but I want to just reiterate, the set might be unlocked, and you have to unlock it with keys, but once you unlock it, you just buy the tank if you've just researched it. So that's good. So this set, definitely you're going to need the T110 E3. What about this set here? If you've got the M6, you should be fine. If you've got the M6, you should be fine. Right? Obviously, I have the M6A2E1, but you'll notice that the M6A2E1 is not a premium tank. Wargaming actually changed the status of this tank and made it a tech tree tank. So if you own this tank in your garage as a premium right now in current Blitz, the entire set is going to be unlocked because it's going to be changed into a non-premium for some odd reason. I don't know why, but there you go. But I guess this set does kind of make sense, obviously, with the T-34 1776 right there, the Eagle Shield Division. But again, if you want to unlock this entire set, just get the M6. It's free in your garage. You should be able to unlock the set. Now, right here, I believe this is called the Sharks. If you want to unlock this set, you're going to have one of these tanks right here. Okay, if you've got the T110E5, fantastic. The Concept 1B, even if you've got the Concept 1B in your garage, your set will not be unlocked because you need a researchable tank to unlock the sets. So regardless whether you have the top tier premium or collector tank, it is not going to unlock the set. You're going to have one of the researchable tanks in the sets in order to unlock the set. So keep that in mind. You can have, like for example, the Concept 1B, you can have that and you can play it, but the set will be locked unless you unlock it with keys and then have to research the tanks and purchase them. So again, if you want to unlock this set, you know, the Dread of the Fins, you're going to have the T110E5 or the M103 or the T32, right? Or the T29, whichever it may be. Okay, so just keep that in mind. You have to have a researchable tank in the set. Let's go to this one right here. Shooting Stars. This one, very quickly, you're going to need the M6 Yo for sure. If you don't have the M6 Yo, the M5 Yo will do, or the M3 Yo. Any of the Yos will do perfectly fine, and you'll have the set unlocked. Now, this one right here, this one is a very interesting one. The Sherman Heritage. Obviously, if you've got the M4 Sherman, you should be fine. If you have any of the premium tanks, not going to be fine because it means you'll have to unlock the set. So do keep that in mind. If you have the M4A3E8 or the EZ8, which is the T6 tank, you should be fine. You should be fine. Or the Sherman Firefly, again, you should technically be fine in this set. It'll unlock. So again, researchable tank, you're going to have it in your garage in order for it to be obviously in your possession. Now, this one right here, the brass as they call it. If you've got the M48 pattern, fantastic. Make sure you've got it in your garage. It's purchased so that when the game is officially released, you'll have it unlocked and you don't need to unlock the set. If you don't have the 48 pattern, but you have the 46 pattern or the Pershing, it should be good enough. So just keep that in mind. Of course, then you have this one right here, this 2-tank set, the Burning Tracks. But you'll notice that obviously it's got some premium tanks in it for some odd reason. You got all the autoloaders, basically some French, and you have American tanks. I don't know why this is a thing, but apparently it is. Obviously, I have the Batchatillon 75, and I have the AMX 12T in my garage, and as a result, the set is unlocked. So again, as long as you have some kind of researchable tank in the set, you should be fine. And in this case, if you have one of the AMXs or the T71 or the T37, you should be able to unlock the set. So yeah, pretty interesting indeed. Now, of course, this right here, the Cerebrus, if you have, for some reason, the K91 isn't here. I don't know why this is in this set. Again, I'm assuming because it's an autoloader, but I mean, it's a Soviet freaking tank. Why is this here? This shouldn't be here. It's just so random. You got American tanks, and then all of a sudden you got this thing. And why is the T77 large, like at a further distance than the T57 heavy? Anyway, regardless, if you want this set, you're gonna have the T57 heavy or the T54E1 or one of these tanks that are researchable in order to obviously do it. So these are T10 tanks, of course, I'm talking about that you need to have in your garage. Finally, let's go to here, the Sheridan line, the Hell Hornets. Obviously, if you've got the Sheridan, your whole set will be unlocked. Or if you've got the T49, for instance, your set will be unlocked. And you'll be able to purchase these tanks that you didn't purchase before. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Obviously, Sheridan, T92E1, the T49, you'll be able to unlock the set. Don't worry about the vintage tanks for now. Let's go to the Germans. And the first one we're going to do is obviously the Grille 15. Let's talk about the Grille 15, the Silent Stingers. And you'll notice basically all the lightly armored tank destroyers are going to be here. For some reason, WZ Blaze is here. It should not be here, the Chinese tank, but anyway. And we have the Spukt TVP 100 and the SU 130 PM. I don't know why these tanks are here. I guess they have similar playstyles, but at the end of the day, it's kind of confusing. Anyway, If you have the grill, or you got the Waffenträger auf Panzer IV, or you got the Borsig, you should be fine to unlock this set. Again, you need to have it in your garage researched. If you want this one right here, the Jagdpanther 2, yep, there's no Jagdpanzer E100 in this set. Jagdpanther 2 is the highest one. If you want to unlock this set, if you got one of these Jagdpanthers, or the Jagdpanzer 4, for instance, you'll be able to unlock this set. Easy said and done. So yeah, even if you have like the T6 version, the Jagdpanzer 4, you should unlock this set. So yeah, keep that in mind. Of course, we have these tanks right here, which is the Tusk Thrust, which is... I don't even want to know where the fuck they got that name from. Or what it's supposed to be. Tusk Thrust. Anyway, this is the Jagdpanzer E100. Obviously, if you don't have it in your garage, that's fine. If you got the Jagdtiger or you have the Ferdinand, you should be fine in unlocking this set. So don't sell these tanks, okay? Let's not sell these tanks. Quickly going through again, if you want this line right here in the set, and if you got the Tiger P or the VK3001 P or the Panzer IV G, you'll be able to unlock the set. Even if you got the Panzer IV D and it's researched and bought in your garage, you'll be able to obviously unlock it. Of course, if you want these right here, which I believe this one is the Steel Front Brigade. If you want to unlock this set, you're going to have one of these tanks. The VK4502A, the O2B, or the 7201K. If you want to unlock this set, you're going to have one of these researchable tanks. So yeah, don't sell them. Don't sell these tanks because they're actually worth... If you don't have the T10, but you have the Tier 8 version, keep it. Keep it in your garage. Trust me. Of course, you got the mouse tanks. So the VK101P, the Moischen, and the mouse. If you want to unlock that set, you're going to have one of the three tanks, okay? And keep in mind, this set, as you're going to see, is going to have some premium tanks in it, like the Kayla, like the VK16801P. All you need to do, the mischief of mouse, is just have one of the three tech tree tanks unlocked. Same thing with this set right here. If you want this set to be unlocked, you've got to have one of these tanks. There's 5 to choose from. If you have the E75, if you have the Tiger 1, which I'm pretty sure most players have, you'll have the set unlocked, no questions asked. So again, if you have the T10 version of this tank though, then keep the T10 version. Why would you sell it? Don't sell the T10, okay? Don't sell the T10. If you want to unlock this set, again, if you don't have the E50M, but you have the Panther 2, for instance, or the Panther 1, or the E50, have them researched and bought in your garage so you can unlock this set with no questions asked. Because trust me when I say, I'm going to keep repeating myself so you guys understand. If you want to unlock the set without keys, you have to have at least one researchable tank in your garage from that set that's researched and bought, and the set will be unlocked. Not a premium tank or a collector. It has to be that. I'm going to make a separate video on premium collector tank because that's a whole fucking other debacle. Now, this set right here for me is locked. Why? Because I don't have any of these tanks in my garage. Any of the tanks. I don't have the Leopard 1, the Leopard PTA, the Indian Panzer, the VK30-02D, or the VK30-02M, which, by the way, in case you don't know what this tank is, this was a T6 Panther tank, basically, which they removed from the game. I kind of missed this tank. But anyway, my point is, if you want to unlock this set without paying keys, you're going to have one of these researchable tanks. So yeah, keep that in mind. There's also this one here, the light tanks. If you've got the SPIC or the SP1C, the RU251, if you have the VK2801, even if you have the Lux or the Leopard, your set will be unlocked. Your set will be unlocked. You don't need to unlock it with keys. So keep that in mind. But of course, if you got the Rheinmetall Panzerwagen, even better. You got the T10, you unlock everything, which is great. So yeah. Okay, that's all for the Germans. Now let's look at the Soviets. Boy, oh boy. Is there a lot in here? Obviously, for this one, the top one right there, the tank destroyers, if you have the Object 268, fantastic, you got the T10. But I'm pretty sure most of us are going to have the SU-152 or the ISU-152. If you've got those tanks, fantastic, awesome, because it means your entire set is going to be unlocked. So keep that in mind. If you want to unlock this set right here, that's underneath the Object 268, you have the Object 263 set. Now, of course, if you don't have the 263, but you have, let's say, for instance, the SU 12254, your set will be unlocked. You don't need to pay keys to unlock it. Same thing goes for this set. If you have the IS-7, which I'm pretty sure most people have, you should be fine. Your whole set will be unlocked if you've owned the tank. If you own it, it's in your garage, and it's purchased, your set will be unlocked. And even if you don't have the IS-7, but you have the IS, which I'm pretty sure most of you should have, your set will be unlocked. Just keep that in mind. You got the set that's underneath this right here, which of course is the KV2 set. Now, I'm assuming the Smasher is also going to be in this set, so if we click this one right here and we scroll down, yeah, see, there's a lot more tanks in this right here, right? There's a lot more tanks. You'll notice that, yes, there is indeed a KV2. Now, for this set right here, if you really, really want the KV2, so let's not confuse people and toggle the premium and collect the tanks one. This is for researchable tanks, because only the researchable tanks are the ones that count for unlocking sets. Unless, of course, the whole set is a premium collector tank. And then, of course, I'll be like, well, you're stupid for selling your tank. Anyway, if you want this set, you're going to have the KV2, which I'm pretty sure every single player in the game has the KV2 on their account, purchased and in their garage. So you should be fine, or at least the KV1. Now, if you want this set underneath this one, which of course has the KV1S all the way up to the IS-4, you have to have one of these tanks. Either the KV3, the KV1S, which I'm pretty sure most people have in their garage, the KV4, the ST1, or the IS-4, your set will be unlocked without keys. Same thing goes with this one right here. If you have the T43 or the T3485 or the A20 or the T34, your set will be unlocked. Now, not everyone has the KV13. In fact, most people don't have the KV13 because most of the player base right now weren't playing before update 5.5, so they never really got this tank, which is unfortunate because it's actually not bad. But yeah, that's the reality. If you want that, the T34 sort of set, you're going to have one of those tanks, for sure. Now, there's another one right here, Object 140, obviously, T62A, the T54, the T44. If you have any of these tanks, your set will be unlocked, so don't sell them. And then you have this set right here, the Hounds. This is on its own. There's only one researchable tank in this one from this nation. I want to make that absolutely clear. There's one tank from this nation. You'll notice that there's an LTTB here, but there's also the Vickers CR, the Vickers Light, right? The FV301, you have the Cromwell, the Crusader, and even the Covenanter. Now, if you want this entire set, you're going to have at least one of these tech tree tanks researched and purchased. So if you got, for instance, the LTTB, awesome. If you have the Vickers Light, even better. Your whole set will be unlocked because you've purchased the tank and it's in your garage. So keep that in mind. And of course, you have this medium tank, which of course has the T100 LT, T54 Lightweight, the MT25. So if you want this set, you're going to have to purchase one of these tanks. My advice, if you've researched the T10, buy it so you have the whole set unlocked in its fullest. That would be my opinions. Now, quickly going through the French tanks right now. If you want, obviously, the Foch 155 line, you're going to have the Foch 155. Unless, of course, you've got like the AMX AC46 or the ARL V39 or the Foch itself, the T9 version. You should have the whole set unlocked because that is how the game plays. You don't need the T10. You're going to unlock the set. But if you have the T10, but you haven't purchased it, I would suggest purchasing it because it means you won't be able to unlock the set without at least one of these tanks in your garage. So keep that in mind. Here's the heavy tanks. Of course, if you want the AMX M445, you're going to have to purchase the AMX M445. If you don't have the ARL 44, which confusing as to how there's people that don't have the ARL 44. Now, obviously, I don't have it on my account, but I do have it on my account. I do actually have it on my account. For some reason, it didn't transfer over. So, yeah, I have this tank on my account, just not on this one. They didn't transfer everything for some reason. But yeah, if you want to unlock the French heavies, you're going to have one of these tech tree tanks unlocked for sure. And then you have the AMX 50B line, basically the three, AMX 50s, right? you're going to have at least one of them. Obviously, if you've got the tier 10, I would highly suggest you buy and keep the tier 10 in your garage and don't sell it, because if you're selling tier 10s, I don't know what's wrong with you. Shouldn't be selling tier 10s. Of course, then you have the light tanks, the French light tanks, but you'll notice that I've already gone through this line right here, the AMX 12T and the AMX 1375, because they are the same. They are the same as the T71 and the T31 or whatever it was, the American tanks. So yeah. Moving on to this one right here, as you can see, if you've got one of these tanks, the Bat-Chatillon, the Project Marat, yeah, onwards and upwards, I reckon. But you get where I'm coming from. Okay. See, if you go down here, if you've got the Bat-Chatillon, even better. If you have the AMX 1390, even better. Same thing with this one. If you have one of these tanks, the Project Larice, the Iraq, the AMX 13 M24, or the Project Marat, you'll have that entire set unlocked. In terms of the Chinese tanks, if you have the WZ-113 GFT, or any of the tanks preceding that, before that, you should have the set unlocked. Same thing with the BZ-75 line, you should have, this entire set unlocked if you have the BZ-75 bought and researched in your garage. Again, the WZ-113, if you have that tank, awesome, because it means that the whole set will be unlocked for you and everything else in it. But if you've only got like the IS-2 or the WZ-110, you'll still have the set unlocked. You just won't have the T10 unlocked. Of course, unless, you've actually researched the T10, but you only have the Tier 8 in your garage. Then you'll obviously be able to just purchase the T10. This one right here, which is the Chinese medium tanks, again, if you have just the Type 34 like I do, your set will be unlocked. I'll show you. I've only got one of these tanks in my garage, but my set is unlocked. I have the first tank in the set because it's a researchable tank, and I've researched it and bought it on my account. I actually have the whole Wukong Warriors set. I can just purchase these tanks by grinding the set, obviously, because I haven't grinded it on my account yet. So yeah, it's quite simple, really. The Chinese light tanks, again, the WZ-132-1. If you only have, for instance, the WZ-131 or the 132 or the 132A, and it's in your garage, your set will be unlocked. It's as simple as that. Same thing with the British tanks or the British tanks. If we're talking about the tortoise, if you got the tortoise on your account, you'll be able to have it in your garage. Rather, if you've got it in your garage, your set will be actually unlocked. Same thing if you've got the AT2 or the AT8 or the AT7 or the AT15. If you've got any of these tanks bought and researched on your account, you'll have it. Simple as that. Anyway, onwards and upwards. I'm going to just showcase here the tanks that you also need for the other British lines. Like the Sherman Firefly, for instance. Japanese, here we go. Ho-Ri, any of the Ho-Ri tanks, the STB-1s, any of the Japanese medium tanks, Japanese heavy tanks, of course, as you can see. Same thing with the Europeans, the Minotauro, the Leo, for that line right there, the Kranwagen here, or the Emil 1 or the Emil 2, the 60TP, the 50TP, any of these, the Polish heavy tanks, or the Czechoslovakian heavy tanks as well, the VZ-55 or the TNH, TVZ, the Czechoslovakian medium tanks like a TVP or the Skoda T50. Again, the Rinoceronte for the Italian lines, or one of the Progettos. The Italian mediums, the Progetto 65, the Standard B, the P43 Bis, P44 Pantera. Essentially, any of these tech tree tanks that are currently in the Blitz garage, if you see them when you're going through the tech trees in their own sets, make sure you got at least one of these tanks bought and researched on your account, so you don't have to spend keys. I'm trying to keep it simple for you guys, and so you don't have to spend money on the fucking game. Because if Wargaming don't want to remove keys for us, as we've been saying for so long, then we're going to have to cheat the system, basically. We're going to have to cheat the system and do it the old-fashioned way. So, yeah, guys, that is going to be the conclusion of my video talking about tanks that you shouldn't sell and what tanks you should have in your garage in order to have pretty much most of the researchable sets unlocked. I'll make a video separately talking about the premium collector tank sets that you at least need to have one of those tanks in your garage to have the set unlocked. But remember, if you have a premium collector tank that is in a set with researchable tanks that you have none of those researchable tanks in, you're going to have to unlock the set with keys in order to get the other tanks. Otherwise, you'll be able to just keep playing your premium collector tank as you normally would. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, look after yourselves, look after your friends and family. Peace in the Middle East, as always, and everywhere else in the world. And I'll catch you later. And yeah, let me know in the comments down below if this video helped or if I'm just stating the obvious. Anyway, bye-bye.